Good day to you from the Angela Sadat Group of Keller Williams Premier Realty. Today we're doing our buyer's bulletin and we're talking title. So buyers, get ready for some fun talking about title. What is title? Why do we need it? And to help us out here today, we've actually got our favorite title gal, Amber Liebelt from Title Smart here we're actually in Maplewood, Minnesota right now today. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the buyer side title experience and what she does for you on her side of things. So Amber, when you start, first of all, we've gotten an offer on the property. The buyer has secured an offer. They've maybe even gotten through inspection. Maybe they're in the middle of that process and they're working with their lender now, of course, on the lending process. And you kind of intersect with that right there, don't you? So how do you come into play?
Well, the lender is going to send us a title order.
Okay.
And they're going to let us know, what the policy for title insurance is that they require, because that is a non-negotiable. Every lender will always have a title insurance policy. Okay. And that piggybacks along with an owner's policy that then the buyers are able to get at a discount. Oh, cool. Having that they're getting the policy from the lender as well. Perfect. And so once the lender gets us that title order, that gives us the green light to go ahead and get started on ordering the searches of what's of public record on the property. That's how we find out about liens, assessments, any other strange things that might be happening on the property. Is it involved in a probate, or who knows? There's a lot of different things that can come up. We don't have time to talk about it all. No. However, that's why we're here. So
right. So you're trying to provide that clear title. That's what we know. Exactly. And in the real estate world, we hear clear title and we're like, yes, awesome. Exactly. And so that's your worry at that point.
Exactly. And we work with the buyers to help them understand the importance of the title insurance feature, because you're only as good as what you can find when you search the property records. So we definitely like to make that known, as well as there are things that you might want to be aware of and really check into that owner's title insurance, because it can be very, very beneficial if you need it.
Okay. And how much does that usually cost people?
It varies just depending on their loan amount and, what's going on with the transaction. But you're typically on average looking with a lender's policy, between $150 and, $400. I mean, there's just, it's never usually so much
it's not
less
a lot of money to get
more than that.
Okay. So to have your own owner's policy, what does that protect you from?
Any title defects that were unknown. So if you had a previous owner of a home that maybe was divorced and didn't take care of their ex-spouse's marital liens, or undisclosed heirs might pop up because somebody might have died, a couple owners back, and they had a child. So I mean, you just never know. Mortgages that were missed that need to be paid off. Those sorts of things.
So those things could come up, but this is going to take care of the buyer in their side of the transaction. Okay, perfect. Okay, so once you've provided a clear title or a title commitment, you would say, what happens next with the buyer
side? Then we're ready to schedule the closing.
So
buyers get to pick the time that they want to close. So they kind of own the transaction in Minnesota, at least on that front. So that's nice for them. We send out information to buyers right away when we get the order from your team. Okay. So then that gives them an opportunity to fill out our information form, answer some questions for us, and then also give us their time preference for closing. And so the sooner that they get that form back to us, the earlier we can get them booked for the time of their choice. Because sometimes there are busy closing days and it's tough to fit them all in. But the earlier we have that information, you're guaranteed to get probably a better time, or a time closer to what you prefer.
Okay, so if you have a time that you're looking for, buyers, get your stuff to Amber right away.
And then we just work with the lenders to get the final numbers put together and provide any information the buyer needs about wiring or bringing in funds for their closing. And then they come sit down with us here and we have a great time. And
it's always a party here.
We've got trinkets and we make sure that the closing is fun and enjoyable, and really try to walk people through so they feel good about the experience.
Okay, so they'll have those final numbers. They'll be all prepared before closing. And what do they need to bring that day of closing? Anything?
Usually just their driver's license, and then of course their funds to close, whether they had wired those in advance or they're bringing a check, whatever that might be.
Okay, driver's license and money. Those are two good things to bring. So that gives you a little bit of a high-level overview of what do we do in the title world once we get your offer all set to go. And next month we'll have more to come on closing.